Hello friends. So today I will tell you a story. It's a true incident. It is based on a true incident and it's a unique story. We all love to listen to stories of kings and queens, but this story is about a heritage site. Yes, you heard me right. It's a UNESCO heritage site which is a world famous heritage structure for its unique architectural composition and for its stone sculptures. Any guesses? Yes, it's the Konark Temple, which was coined as Black Pagoda by the British. So, there's a very interesting story. We see the mammoth and grandeur structure of Konark Temple, which is basically a chariot of sun god, which is a Hindu deity. But we don't know the beautiful story, the story of sacrifice, dedication, and selflessness. All these emotions and attributes of human personality or human nature is there behind this vast and unique structure, which is world famous for its intricate work on stones. So let's hear this beautiful story. The Black Pagoda or the Konark Temple was built in the 13th century and it was built during the reign of Narasimha Deva I. In order to mark his victory over the Mughals had almost conquered the entire India except for Odisha, which was known as Kalinga or Utkala then in the past during 13th century. So he had given the king Narasimha Deva I gave a very befitting reply to the Mughals that they did not dare to attack Kalinga for years together, in fact for decades together. So in order to mark that victory, he had planned to build a temple dedicated to the god, sun god, at the Konark place, which was then there was a river which was very favorite of the king. When he used to get up from his bed, and from the palace he could see the river Chandrabhaga, which is no more, which is a dead river in today's time, but then it was a full-fledged river then. And the Chandrabhaga used to go and meet, is to fall on the sea. So there's a meeting place, and the temple was, he wanted to build a temple, sun god temple there, so that the first ray of the sun reaches to that temple. Now that was a very unique temple, unique place, because there was no soil. It was right in the middle of the sea, and the sea water always erodes the stone. So it was a very difficult job, but for the sanctity of the place, the king was very much determined to erect a temple out there. It was a tough task. So the chief architect Vishu Maharana was appointed to build this structure, but it was not an easy job. And he was the chief architect and he was assigned that job. And for that job to complete, there was a treaty between the artisans, the chief architect and the king, that nobody can leave the site of construction unless and until the temple is completed. That was the treaty. You cannot go back home. So Vishu Maharana had left his home for this enormous responsibility that was given to him before the birth of his son. His wife was pregnant then, and she was about to give birth to her child, and he had to leave for this work. 12 years had gone by, and there was 1,200 artisans were involved in this making of this grandeur structure or temple. 12 years had gone by, and this little boy, 12-year-old boy, had never seen his dad. And he always used to ask his mother that, Mom, how was my dad, how did he look, and what did he do, and to know more about his father. But his mother was always reluctant and revealed very little about his father. The boy curiosity grew, and when he was 12-year-old, on the 12th birthday of his, he asked his mom for only one gift that he desired most, the gift to go and meet his father. He is grown up now enough to go and meet his father, and he wanted badly to go and see his father. Her mother had no other option but to let the child go and meet his father. She could keep him as long as possible, but now he was enough grown and his curiosity has grown up so much that she cannot hold him any longer. So the mother gave him few berries and a Odia cuisine dish along with the child, so that he goes to meet his father and he could gift those delicacies to his father. When he met his father, Vishu Maharana was very happy to see his son after 12 long years, and he was very ecstatic. But all of a sudden, the child could understand that behind this happiness there was also a sadness, and his father was very dejected and he wanted to know the reason for it. Vishu Maharana could not was not able to keep his dejection as a secret before his son. He had to conceal it, and he told that the reason for not being happy is the 12 years of patience, dedication, hard work is all going a waste, because the temple was almost towards completion, but they were not able to fix the kalasha, which is known as the crown of the temple or the finial of the temple. Was somehow it was not being placed properly. There was some sort of improper fixing, and something was not right, and they were not able to do it properly, and they all were worried about their fate, because the king was very strict, and if they were not able to do it in a considerable or reasonable time, the king is going to behead all, including the chief architect Vishu Maharana, as well as his 1200 artisans who were involved in making the temple. So the son was astounded, and he was worried about the fate of so many people. So he went to the top of the temple and he rectified that. Yes, it's unbelievable, but a 12-year-old boy had rectified that, and after that placing the kalasa was very easy. It was being rectified. But still then everyone was overjoyed that finally the task is done, it's completed, and they can all go back to home now. But then later on, during the night, there was a whisper in the community of the artisans or the masons that our fate is still uncertain. Why? Because a 12-year-old child did such a huge work, a work that we 1200 artisans could not do it, could not complete it. And if it goes to the ears, this news, if it goes to the ears of the king, he is surely going to doubt on the work that we have done for the last 12 years. And surely we are going to meet death. We are all going to be beheaded, and all the honor and the recognition will go to this 12-year-old boy. This whisper or the grapevine also reached Dharmapada. The 12-year-old boy name was Dharmapada. Dharmapada heard this and he felt very sad. All he wanted was his dad back, his father back, and the other 1200 artisans or the masons who were involved to go back to their home, to go back to their family. That was his sole desire, and he did selflessly rectified that work. He did not wanted fame or honor, or there was nothing. There was no such want of that 12-year-old child. And when he heard about this, that I have risked so many lives, he felt very bad. And in order to make everybody's life easy and not to take the glory that these 1200 masons and his father had given or dedicated those 12 long years to this temple, he did not want to take that glory or the fame in just one night. So what that child did was absolutely unexpected, but he did that to save so many precious lives, and also not to take the glory or honor that these 1200 masons deserved actually in true terms. So he went to the top of the temple and he jumped off from there to the deep waters of the sea, and he sacrificed his life. Yes, he sacrificed his life. So there is a sacrifice involved in that temple, and though this news did not reach the king immediately, but later on, when the pratishtha of the temple was overdue and it was going to happen, he came to know. And in that temple the sun was never worshipped. So that is only a architectural or a temple of beauty. The god was never worshipped in that temple. So there is a sad story behind this huge, unique, world famous heritage site, which is also declared as UNESCO heritage site. But this also tells us it also brings about the unique emotions involved in the human nature, the emotions of sacrifice, devotion, dedication and selflessness. He did not wanted anything. He just wanted that I should not take the glory. Everybody should go back to their own respective family and home. And he sacrificed his life because he felt that his father was responsible for so many men, because he was heading them. He was heading the community of the artisans and masons. So hope you like this story. We all hear a lot of stories about king and queen. So this was a very unique story, a story of a heritage site. So stay tuned guys, and I'll be coming up with more such stories. Hope you liked it, share it, and you can share your views in the comment section. Thank you so much. Bye bye.